that we came with a clear mandate. We came with a clear conscience, and that is how the Igbos came to this conference. And we want to say that the success of our assignment here we derive from a clear conscience, a clear heart from all the other delegates. Now, there is a human principle which makes progress difficult, and that is knowing the truth and not wanting the truth applied. It is ungodly. And look at the fundamental things we are addressing. The fundamental things are injustice, inequity. And we don't want to keep coming, spending the resources of government, talking when problems can be solved. Problems can be solved when truth is applied. And what are we talking about? We have agreed that true federalism remains. That we federate on the basis of states. But as a simple puzzle, it remains simple. It's difficult because we don't want to solve it. The puzzle is, how can you maintain equity? How can you maintain balance? How can you share the resources of this nation without some people feeling shortchanged? And that is why we say that the zonal structure must apply. It must apply because unconsciously it is being mentioned. I have read the committee reports. A lot of committees mentioned it. In power sharing, they mentioned it. But there was this shying away from saying that it should be prescribed as a constitutional attachment. Having said that, we now go to Committee on the Executive. I want to differ. They now prescribe the school certificate as in the status quo 1999 Constitution as the prerequisite for the office of Mr. President and the governors. And I want to say, delegates, we must move forward. We must move forward because the problem of Nigeria for now is not having non-qualified people. We must move forward because we cannot encourage precocious making of politics a profession. We must move forward because you now have people shying away from education. They want to rush into politics, and indirectly you are encouraging school dropout syndrome. Indirectly you are encouraging tall-green politics. And again, how do you fight corruption? One way of fighting corruption is to get people thoroughly educated, acquire good education. If you don't have good education, people will go into these offices and with a tendency to keep grabbing. So my prescription is that we should use a first degree as the prescription for these offices, the president and the governors. We must move forward. We must move forward. And I also see about some committee, the committee report about convoys and security votes. During our job in the Human Rights and Social Security, one of my friends in the Human Rights Commission said that in advanced countries, these commissions really don't exist. You don't need them. So there must be something which is a problem with our system. They don't exist because people have found how to apply the principles of fairness and equity. So if we must now have these checks here about convoys, about security votes, it is important that we should enshrine it into the Constitution as to what, because it is, I tell you, some of these governors don't even have, or the local government chairman even, there's an arbitrary kind of application of security vote. I mean, it varies from state to state. So there must be a prescription of what should be the security vote of these, of these people in office. Now, to my last point. My last point is on revenue sharing and fiscal federalism. I found a committee doing a good job. But then, still in the principle of playing politics with truth, I saw them saying there has to be a scientific formula to derive what should be applied as a revenue derivation to be paid. And now, what does that mean? It means that they also went further to say, or another committee. So what did that committee do? They want another committee to come with attendant politics associated with playing away the truth. And gentlemen, I want to say here that it is insulting when you know the right thing to do to a man and you say you are sympathetic to him. So our brothers from the South, it is not sympathy. It is a matter of right. Their case should be given attention. So if the committee on revenue allocation, if they wanted to say 60%, let it be 60%. I rest my case.